Hey, if you're a leader, you want to be productive, and I'm going to talk about the 4 kinds of productivity so that way you can make better decisions this week and in the future. If we haven't met yet, my name is Peter Burchfield. I'm a pioneer at heart. I'm a believer, husband, girl dad, second generation pastor, executive coach. I just say that to show you that I'm doing a lot of different things, and I think that's where we're all at. Right? I'm not saying that to set myself apart as much as I'm trying to relate to you as best as I can on a video. And I know that if you're on a leadership journey, you have multiple mental tabs open at the same time. You are juggling so many different priorities, and it's because these are things you really care about. These are things that you're invested in. They are connected to real people that you've spent time with and that you want to see win in one way or another. And so as we think about productivity, it's not just about time management and task management, energy management and attention management, all these other things we say. This is a big deal because your leadership journey is the way you show up for all these different people in all these different places. Productivity doesn't have to be sterile. It can be really relational and then out of that rewarding. All right, so what are these 4 levels of productivity? This is going to be very simple, but if you can catch this concept now, it's going to set your year apart. Man, you're going to get ahead. You're going to feel the internal momentum. You might be feeling stuck right now, but I promise you, you're going to be unstoppable because you're making better decisions. So the first level of productivity is what I call unproductive, right? That's bad. You don't want to be unproductive. What does that mean? What does that look like? It means you're not doing the work you should be doing. You're just not working. You're not putting in the effort. Don't do that. In a digital context, when we're thinking about our notes, our communication, email, all the stuff we're doing is so digital now, right? This would be where you're doing work, but in an inefficient way, right? It's not that organized, but you're still, keeping on for keeping on's sake. And I really want to challenge you to take your operations and get them organized. Really figure out a better way to do what you're already doing. That's the big idea. The next kind of productivity is not unproductive, but counterproductive. This is probably the worst level of productivity in my view, because not only are you not doing the work you need to be doing, you're doing something else that is exerting effort, wasting time, probably wasting other people's time, to be honest, and it's sideways energy. So this is so funny to me because this is where you are organized. I mean, you're on it, you're thinking about stuff, you got charts and graphs galore, you're probably having full-on dialogue with ChatGPT or something, and you're trying your best to get ahead, and it looks good in this digital space, but it doesn't translate into real results. It's counterproductive. All right, it's kind of like fake work right now because it's just not fruit bearing and it's frustrating instead. So it's wasted time. It's wasted effort. It's not that you didn't do the work. It's that you've been working in a way that is counterproductive. It's working against you, whether you realize it or not. And so yes, it's good to have an organizational system, but make sure that the system is doing the work. Make sure that it's making your life easier, that it's getting you the results and the revenue that you need to carry on with the mission or just to be more present with your family. Don't just settle for a system that is organized, but make sure that it's actually operational as well. All right, the third kind of productivity is just plain vanilla productive. You're being productive. You're doing the best you can. You're operational and you're organized, and it helps you keep up with the day-to-day stuff. You don't feel the stress and the strain of life because you've built some structure. And the good news is when you don't feel up to the task, the structure is going to uphold you. the structure is really important, and you've got a structure. You're doing digital work. It's good, but the reality is you're not moving fast enough in a ever increasing context. And we've got to figure out, how do we shift out of this productive space and we become this last category, which is mega productive. Now, as a believer, I've got other ideas about faith-centered productivity. If you resonate with that, then make sure you check out some of the links below. I don't know if it'll be available at the time that you're watching this, but if you're kind of in the more recent side of things, then you can check out a course I made called Unburdened Productivity. And it really talks about productivity from a faith-centered perspective. But simply put, I want you to take that leap in thinking and really expand what you think is possible. And here's a very simple thought exercise you can do to get there. I'm sure that you wrote down some goals, hopefully, right? The science is just very clear. The behavior science and, the goal achievement crowd they're all, cheering me on right now as I say this. You got to write stuff down. You got to have goals for your life. But the thought experiment is not that you wrote down your goals. The thought experiment is, let's say you write down your 12-month goals. What would it take to accomplish the 12-month goals in 12 weeks? That's kind of a jump in thinking. It challenges what you think is doable. Start accelerating your expectation and start growing your capacity. Because when you grow your capacity, then things can happen at scale, and you're not going to be overwhelmed and burned out, so to speak, by those pressures. It's not going to be a bad day, a crazy day, a hard day. It's going to be another Monday or Thursday or whatever day it is for you. It's just part of your life now. You've grown your pain threshold. You've grown your thinking. You've grown your experiences. You've got a bigger tool belt, and you're able to show up to the challenges and offer higher level solutions. And so that's this urgent opportunity that I'm sending your way to say, if you can figure out how not just to be unproductive and counterproductive or productive, but if you can really figure out how to be mega productive, wouldn't that be worth it? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It would be worth it. So what do you need to do now to show up differently, to grow your capacity, and to actually relate to these systems and these tools in a way that lets you be mega productive? Hey, I need to say this real quick. I did the outro before I gave you the invitation. So let me just put this in somewhere in the video, probably in a very obnoxious place. But I want to let you know that I host a challenge for leaders. It's called the Prepared Leaders Challenge. And it is that you cannot afford to show up unprepared. You can't show up unprepared for a meeting. You can't show up unprepared for a new initiative. So you definitely can't show up unprepared for the next phase now. And if you're prepared, then your team's going to feel more confident in being on that team. And that's why I'm doing this. It is for you because it's going to give you a ton of peace of mind, but it's really for the people around you because they need to feel the updraft of your own leadership journey. They need to feel your growth and your passion and your accomplishments. And when you create that internal momentum, then your whole team begins to feel unstoppable because of it. You're contributing all of your gains to serve a greater purpose. And I think that that's a pretty cool thing for leaders. So join the challenge. You'll find out more information about it. Prepared Leaders Challenge. See ya in there real soon. So remember, the future has so many fields waiting on you. Prepare to go there.